Hello BookTube, this is Weekly Reads. I've had a fairly okay reading week, despite the first book being a bail. And that book is The Folding Star by Alan Hollinghurst. I read this for a bit of a project I'm doing. I've wanted to read all of Alan Hollinghurst's novels for a while. And I've constantly run up against bailing on the Swimming Pool Library, Alan Hollinghurst's first novel. But this past January, I managed to read and rather enjoyed rereading the Swimming Pool Library, despite all of the bails. I don't know. Anyway, so I decided to continue on and read all of Alan Hollinghurst's novels. So his second novel is The Folding Star. This is about a British expatriate who takes a tutoring position in Belgium to two young men. Eventually, the Briton Edward Manners falls in love with the more handsome, more talented of his two male students. So I started the novel on Saturday and I was rather enjoying it, actually. Until Edward tells the man he has been basically dating for most of the book to that point that he was in love with his student Luke, just as the man was saying he loved Edward. And at that moment, my enjoyment, it just went. I mean, there's no. I guess the thing is that there's a passion between Edward and the young man he'd been dating up to that point, sleeping with up to that point. And Edward even says, yeah, I'm in love with my student, but I'm still going to be with you too. And numerous other men. But anyway. But that sort of passion, that sort of attraction, it just, Hollinghurst doesn't really convey the attraction, the lust that Edward should feel towards Luke if he's in love with his student and with Luke. It's so much more academic, so much, in a way, shallower of love, or love, yeah. Anyway, so I continued on for a little bit afterwards, but pretty much my enthusiasm for the novel just nosedived. So beyond Edward's obsession with Luke, he also becomes involved with the father of his other pupil, to the point where he eventually takes a position at a museum that the father runs about a famous local artist. And then he also has a number of affairs with the other gay men of the town. And I'm just like, oh. So it's disappointed. It's like, dang it. But knowing that moment, I wonder if the next time I have a go at this, I might be able to overcome it. Now that I know that's what's bugging me about this book. But anyway, we shall see. It might be a while though. So on Sunday, I was a bit distraught as to what I should read, because I planned on reading The Folding Star through at least Sunday, maybe even into Monday if I needed to, since it is over 400 pages. So eventually I decided to read some poetry. Um, so I read or reread, because pretty much all of the poetry I have except for Omaro's will be repeated rereads. Um, so I reread for the third time Larvae of the Near Stars by Catherine W. Carter. Again, I really enjoyed this collection, particularly. Um, let me see, what poem was it? No. Let me see here. Hornet's Nest is really good. Um, the Lycanthrope I thought was quite good too. Um, oh yeah, After the Colony Collapsed, Cullowhee, North Carolina is really good too. So I mean, there are a lot. I really enjoyed this collection, and I do hope to pick up some more this month. And I also reread The Lions by Peter Campion for the third time. Again, I really enjoyed this collection, particularly Death on the Nile. There's a poem that sort of tells of a time when, as a young boy, he was in Egypt, and he was remembering Agatha Christie's Death on the Nile. It's 1989 Death on the Nile. Also, Embarcadero is really good. So yeah. And every time I read these collections, I pick up more, and it's quite fascinating. Although I think by now I probably should hold off for a few years. And then on Monday, I reread The New Black by Evie Shockley, which I actually read in a car, because I had a doctor's appointment, and my brother had one too. So he went to his doctor's appointment, I stayed in the car, and then we went to mine, which was like 15 minutes, and then did a few other errands. But anyway, so during that period, I reread The New Black for the third time and enjoyed this one immensely as well. So many really good poems in here that I quite liked, particularly. Let's see, where is it? No, I'm not finding it. The Improper Tea Behavior is really good. No, yeah. I really, really enjoyed this collection too. So that wrapped up February. And so with March 1st, I decided to start March with my March of the Mammoths selection. And that is Maria Theresa, the Habsburg Empress in Her Time by Barbara Stollberg-Rilinger. This is a massive biography of Maria Theresa. I started it on Tuesday, and I've been reading it ever since. I'll continue reading it this weekend and into next week. I'm thinking I should finish it by Friday, or I should finish it next Friday, but I could be wrong. It depends how my week goes. So far, I'm really enjoying the book. I'm not exactly loving it. It's not really gripping me and dragging me along. It's a more academic enjoyment, but I mean that's great as well. So far, I think I quite enjoy Stollberg-Rilinger's pretty much handling of the history around Maria Theresa, of Maria Theresa's role in history. But so far in my readings, Maria Theresa is more of a political being rather than a private being. There's not much has been focused on Maria Theresa's personality, her home life, her children, that sort of thing. Although I think a chapter focusing on that will come later. So anyway, yeah. I'll be working on Maria Theresa for another week at least, and I will give more thoughts about the novel, or not the novel, the biography then, because obviously I'm only about 250 pages in a well over 1,000-page book, so yeah. Anyway, excuse me. So, since I don't have any books to preview next week, since I'll be continuing with Maria Theresa, I do want to touch on some of my plans for March. So I think after I finish Maria Theresa, I'll be reading my contribution to March Mystery Madness, which will be probably an Agatha Christie novel because that's all the mystery I have. Probably will be Miss Marple. Outside of that, I also want to probably do some Belle redemptions for some fiction I've been reading. Also, probably should have a go at The Women's War by Jenna Glass, and a few other things, but I mean, I'll figure that out more next week, what I want to do. So anyway, I've also been watching Castlevania on Netflix. I watched the first season and most of the second. I have 2 episodes left, which I'll finish tonight, and then I'll continue with seasons 3 and 4 this weekend and next week. So far, I'm really enjoying it. It's quite fun. It's a quite fun series, although rather gory for an animated show. So anyway, that's all I have this week. I'll be back obviously next week with the continuation of my 2022 library tour. Basically 2 more weeks of that. I'm getting rather exhausted with it. So anyway, I'll be quite pleased to see them finish that off. I'm also working on reaching 1,000 books. Right now I am 15 away from 1,000. I have some books over here that I got in this week. One of them, I did an order with Amazon that ended up coming in 2 separate packages. One of which I got, and the other one seems to have gone missing. So I don't know if I'll just reorder that or pick something else up. I don't know yet. So we need a booktube. So speaking of 1,000 books, I think I'm going to put out a Q&A call. I will do that. But I will also be doing a random 100 questions tag. I've got 50 questions down. I need to come up with another 50. And I'm so far enjoying doing that, so that's quite fun. Anyway, booktube, I'm starting to ramble, so I'm going to go ahead and sign up for now. So thank you, have a great evening and weekend, and I will see you next week. So until then, stay safe.